Welcome everybody, my name is Chase.
This is Diane.
And welcome to the Lurking Spirits channel. Today we are going over a lot of our equipment. I want to go put my
Gotta show off my supernatural cup here.
I'll just keep my drink right
here.
here.
That's why we have it.
Just right here. Yeah. Anyway, today we are here to show off a lot of our equipment and basically tell you what you guys need to get started. Obviously, you guys don't have to go extremely crazy like we did. Like, for example, whenever we started out, we only had like 3 things. And we did a pretty good, successful first video, I'd say, at the Williamston Park. That was our first video. So, that's what we're going to be doing today. So, I'll go ahead and I guess I'll start with this. So, here's my case. A lot of you have seen the case in the video. I'm not quite sure what the brand is. I am going to be getting another case here soon because some of the foam is falling out. But basically what I have here, I'm going to go with what I had to start.
Okay, well, before he says what he starts, the reason why we're doing this video is a lot of people said, hey, what do you need to start paranormal investigating? Basically, to be honest with you, you can just use a normal everyday flashlight and slightly unscrew the back of it. Put it on a shelf, on a step, wherever you want to put it on top of a book. Ask questions. It'll turn on, off, on for yes, off for no. Works just as good as expensive equipment.
Exactly.
And then if you have a cheap EVP recorder, and if you can get one EMF reader or something like that. Matter of fact, you don't even need that. You can go to a hardware store or Walmart, and you can get a motion detector, like one of those little lights or something, that if anything goes by it, right there, there's your start.
We lost our light, didn't we? I haven't seen that since we moved.
The motion detector one?
That thing is gone.
It's packed up somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah.
I want to clarify with the flashlight, like she said, you can't use any ordinary flashlight, because I did do my research on
Yeah,
this.
no, you
If
can.
you do the LED light, I was told that the LED mini mag light, this isn't the LED one, but I was told that it don't work if you use the LED one. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that's true because I haven't even tried it myself. I've always used the yellow light one.
I've used a regular light. So,
I was told the LED one don't work. I might be wrong. Yep. That's just what I read. That's just what I was told.
I've used a regular light. You can use it. It will work. It's not as good as the LED ones, but it will work. So... and the other thing too, we have the camera that we're filming right now. It's not a real expensive camera. It's a 4K. It has the night vision on it, infrared. You don't have to go real expensive camera. When our very first,
we did on my phone.
First investigation, he used his phone.
We did on my phone.
So, and it started us off. So
a lot of times, though, cell phones can record better than most high definition cameras, especially. Newer phones, they're starting to put photographers out of business. I remember the first time I got my phone I have now, I took a photo of the moon, and you could see every single crater, every single detail, and it was at Orlando, and it was really good. But anyway, back to the topic of the video. Like she said, you got your mini mag light. She said, turn it off and on for yes and no. How you would set this is you just want to very gently have it to where it just turns off and on. And you set it down. Now it can be finicky if you like slam it down or put it down too hard, because then it'll turn on. And then they'll be able to turn this. Sometimes you can even see the beam like on the camera. If you're watching some of our latest videos, you can see the beam of one of the light just move.
It's awesome. It is so awesome. You
cool
can literally
see that,
when you know that they're going to turn it off or no, you can literally follow that beam and you can see it going like this. And it's amazing. It's truly amazing.
So I had that when I started off. This was a gift from Diane from whenever she first started. But this is just and I looked this up. This one's about $20. It's just a small little audio recorder. I have caught EVPs on this. Actually, I want to clarify, in the video that we went to Hell's Gate, it did not say Gabriella like I thought it did whenever me and Eric were walking up through the cemetery. It actually says get down. We actually listened to it with a speaker hooked up to it, and it said get down. It didn't say a name. It said get down. But it whispered like a get down. And that's really cool. You can pick it up.
You can get some of those too, like when you first start out. I think that one, if I'm not mistaken, my husband Tom bought that for me, and I believe it was from Ghost Stop, and it came with a little, there's a little flashlight, which I'll show in my kit when I pull it out. Little flashlight, had like a little toolkit inside of it. So nice little set for beginners. You don't have to pay an arm and leg for it. Pennies on the dollar. Cheap.
EMF meter, mine is dead from the last investigation. I guess I forgot to turn it off when I put it into the box. Anyway, basically this is just a little cheap EMF meter you can get practically anywhere. You could either spend, you can either spend a good $60 to get one that says Ghost EMF on it, but you don't really need to spend the $60. You could go a lot cheaper, and we've had amazing results. Even with the one that was behind us? Where did that one go? That one.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, that one.
This one. This weird looking
I'll be
one.
showing all of these when I go, because I got a variety of EMF.
She has a lot more stuff than I do. A lot more stuff than I do. Here is Gabriella.
Part of Larkin
Gabriella.
Spirits. River, if you're watching.
This one is the same as mine.
Say hi, Gabriella.
Except for mine is Gabriella. Dead. Mine is dead. So there's that. That's basically what I had to start out. And then once I started getting money and wanting to get into this more legitimately, I started buying spirit boxes. And I have two of them. This one you don't really ever see me use. But this is the one that I had in a case that turned on by itself.
It did.
And it's on a video recording in the bedroom of the old house that we were in. I was sitting there asking questions. I forget what equipment I was using, but whenever you turn it on, I'll see if I can find the part. It's been so long since I've used this. You'll hear it here.
Xbox. Scanning.
That's what I heard whenever it turned on. In the case. I was nowhere near the case. The case was open, but you just heard S-Box on, and it turned on.
Now explain to everybody how you can use a spirit box so that they can understand that if they're new and they want to try, for those who are not familiar with the spirit box.
So I've got two. This is the S-Box, and this is the PSB7, which they have updated. There is a revised version of it that is slightly better than this, which I am working on getting. Basically what this does is it'll take radio stations or radio frequencies and it'll sweep them at a really fast rate. And basically the theory is that spirits can manipulate the words, kind of like Bumblebee. If you've ever seen Transformers, if you haven't, you live under a rock. It's practically like Bumblebee, and he can pick words out, or they can pick words out, and sometimes you can actually hear their actual voice using the words. It's not just the radio voice. You'll know if you have a direct answer if the question you ask and the answer you get correlates with the question. So, like, let's say you asked what its favorite food was when it was alive, and it said spaghetti, then that's most likely the answer from the spirit box. Basically, they can just pick and choose certain words from this whenever it goes through. It scans pretty fast. You can either scan fast or you can scan slow. I typically keep mine on 150 to 200.
The buttons on there where you can do the scan rate and everything.
Yeah, so I'm not that close to the camera, and I don't quite feel like getting up. But it basically has a sweep rate. Yeah, here, you can go ahead.
Just explain what
show them.
So if you look at the camera right there.
On there you have your power button, you have the temperature button. It does read temperature and it will go off if the temperature drops below a certain degree. I forget what it is, in a certain amount of time. It's got a flashlight. You can change the sweep rate. You can sweep it forward or reverse. If you get anything sweeping reverse, that is 100% a response from a spirit. So, yeah, well, it's all good. And then you got the difference between these two. This one's cheaper than this one, but this one actually you can put a card in and you can record your sessions through here. It won't record outside audio, but it'll record the scanning frequencies going through here. So I don't use this one a whole lot. I tend to use this one because this one's, I think, is more reliable than this one. But maybe one day I'll use this one. I mean, it works. I just never really use it. Yeah, here's a little speaker that you can put for your spirit box, or maybe if you want to use the speaker to listen to the EVP recorder. But it's just a small little plug-in speaker with the power button on the back. It's pretty loud. So I have that. I have a infrared thermometer here, and then this isn't the last thing I have, but this is what's called a REM pod. And basically, you've seen it used in a lot of our videos. You've seen it used in the Overnight Channel, Twin Paranormal, even
Project
Ghost
Fear.
Adventures, Project Fear. They started using a lot of the newer equipment now. Basically,
Plug, if any of you are watching.
basically what it does is you have it here and it'll detect a motion. So if you ask a spirit to go ahead and grab it, kick it, knock it over, or whatever, it'll go off like this. Basically, you can also go and change the range of it so it's more sensitive than what it was before. And if you get right up to it,
It makes
it'll
that
make
lovely
all
noise.
kinds of different colors.
And you
can-
can batteries and everything.
No, I just didn't zero it out.
Okay.
And also, if you, well, no, didn't do it that time. If you set this on an unsteady surface and you smack it, it will go off. It's a misreading. So, like, if it's on the floor and you start stomping next to it, it won't go off. But let's say you put it on, like, a rocky table and you smack it, it'll most likely give you a false reading. If that does happen, this one I got from Ghost Stop. This one I got from Ghost Stop. It comes with a year warranty, just so you all are aware. And it has a zero out mode. So basically, if it's giving you false readings, you can press the zero out button, and it'll clear every single reading, and it'll basically reset it. And that's cool. This one has a temperature gauge as well. The temperature thing is slightly bent on mine, but it'll sense hot and cold. And again, just like the EMF meter, if it drops a certain few degrees in a certain time, it'll go off and it'll let you know that something's manipulating it. So it's pretty cool. This is probably one of the more expensive pieces of equipment, because she has a REM pod too, but it works.
It's a little less expensive.
Hers is a little less expensive because I went name brand with mine, and works about the same. Same results, I would say. Same results.
Well, the funny thing about it is the spirits, especially in Gabriella's old room, really went crazy. When we had mine and yours together, there's a couple points there where they seemed like they were communicating to each other, and it was kind of getting a little eerie.
Morse code.
Yeah, like they were doing like a Morse code thing, and then the flashlight was coming on and off in response also. It was kind of getting nuts. And but a lot of people are like skeptical of a lot of the equipment and that, but they're accurate. They work. You have to know and understand how they do work, though, because otherwise, I mean, that's kind of why we're doing this little bit of I don't know how many people do it, but, to show what the equipment is and kind of explain
Not a lot of paranormal investigators do, I've noticed, because a lot of times if you leave a question or a comment on their videos, they won't even get noticed.
And that's the only reason why we wanted to do this, is because we have had a lot of questions, say, what kind of equipment do you use, how expensive is it to start out, and blah, blah, blah. So
this is another REM pod. It's not a walkie-talkie, although it does look like one. This is one you could literally make at home. It's just a door sensor where if you open up a door, it'll go off, but it's rigged up to be a REM pod. So
It's the battery side.
it's the batteries.
I was gonna say that's not supposed to happen.
Now this one here, this one's kind of harder to go off. If that one goes off, there's a very strong spirit nearby, because that one very rarely goes off. Now, we've only seen that go off like once or twice, I think, and one time.
Twice. It was once at the park, and it was once behind the house.
Yeah.
It would never go off in the house. In fact, we got on the spirit box that they don't like that beeping noise. They'd rather have it to where it sounds like the actual REM pod and your REM pod. They don't like the noise of this one.
It's really loud.
It is really loud.
So it's a real strong spirit that's coming through if that thing goes off.
I have only ever seen this go off twice, and I do think that this one, personally for me, because I gave this one to Gabriella, I don't like this one. I don't. I mean, she's had better luck with it than I have. Actually, whenever I gave it to her, that's whenever it started going off compared to me.
Yep,
But this one came from Addict Junkie Paranormal. But I'm going to let it be known that it's only ever gone off twice. And we've been doing this for 8 months going on now.
I think Abby said about 9 months.
Yeah,
pretty
so
close to a year. We're going on our first year now.
Do with that as you will. Addict Junkie Paranormal, that's where I got that one from. So, all right, and then I'm going to move on to my last box before we go ahead and move on to Diane's whole ordeal there, which is going to take an hour and a half to go over.
Really. It's just a lot of it's the same type of equipment, but different versions.
You've seen us use these a lot, and these are effective and they work.
And they are cheap, so you can go to Walmart or anywhere like that. You can probably get about 6 or 7 of them for under $10.
They are motion sensor cat balls, and I bought a pack of 15 for a little less than $20.
Yep.
And I split it amongst all of us. So we all have like 6 different cat balls because I had some from before. I know the numbers don't add up, but I also had a few before, so I split it evenly between us. But basically, it goes off with motion. So right now it's zeroed out. It's not moving. If this is in the hallway, I know. I've been making sure. If this is in a hallway, or if it's on a staircase, or if it's on a desk, or whatever it may be, if it goes off and no one is moving, and there's no wind to move it around or nothing, and you can debunk it, it is definitely an interaction with the spirit, and I have seen it go off, and it's good, especially whenever it answers questions on cue. That is the fun part. But basically, it just goes off by motion. Even some of them are really hard to go off. Like, you actually got to shake it to go off. But that doesn't mean that it's broken, because I've also seen ones that are really hard to go off get manipulated easy, and it doesn't even move.
Oh, I have something to say about them too.
Here comes Gabriella.
Alright, so I have one thing to say about the cat balls. Some of them are very, very sensitive. So even if you speak loud enough, if you like yell at it, it will go off because the vibrations from whatever surface it's on will vibrate into it, and it will.
The sound waves.
Depending on what it's on, though. If it's on the floor, it won't. But if it's on like a desk or something,
yeah, if it's on like a
will.
table or like a dresser or something that is like known for sound waves to pass through it, it will go off. But try to put it on a very steady surface.
But you also got to be up really close to it, though, right?
No.
I've never seen them go off.
When we was investigating in her room, we kind of was goofing off a little bit.
Really
Next
funny.
thing you know, it started going off.
And the one time I was like singing in there or yelling or whatever and being crazy, and it was on my dresser, and it went off, and I was like, hello? And then I did it again, and it went off, and I was like, oh, okay, so that was me.
Yeah.
So you gotta watch out with that, but other than that, they're very...
As long as you don't get scared and scream, you should be fine.
Well,
Now, again, with the cat balls, getting back to why we're doing this, very cheap piece of equipment, very effective piece of equipment. So you want to start out, get your phone if you don't have a camera or you can't afford one, your little recorder, it doesn't have to be expensive, a cat ball. Right there's your motion one. You're set to go. You really don't even need an EMF reader. That basic, and a flashlight. That will help you get off to a good start.
This is a millimeter. Diane has one as well. This one was also a gift from Diane to me. Basically, this is a millimeter. What this does is it'll read your temperature and your EMF. There is a little antenna / probe that goes into here, and once it plugs in, this is what reads your temperature. Basically, I've seen this thing go up to 16. That's probably the highest I've ever seen it go. But it is effective. A lot of them now have the little REM pod built into it, like you'll see with Diane's here. Mine is the older version, so it doesn't really have that.
Also, too, if you can use just a regular. This is a Fuji film camera, just a regular digital camera. It does have video on it. You could use this. I would suggest to even take a camera like this when you go. We haven't done it. I think we're going to start doing it. Yeah. Just randomly, if there's an area where there's a hot spot, just take pictures with your flash on. It's amazing what you can catch. I have been told upon research, and Chase will verify it, they said even more effective than this if you have one of those old-fashioned Polaroid cameras that you
Yes.
snap and the film comes out and immediately. There's something about those cameras. I'm going to have to recheck what it was. I know ghost hunters have explained why they're more effective. It seems like the spirits show up on the film.
But they're so much more expensive.
But they are. I mean, the camera
really
itself
expensive.
is really dirt cheap, but the film for it, and you're getting only like 10 shots in it of the film. That's way more expensive than the camera itself. But getting back, so if you want to get just a basic like this, we also bought one of those little Go cameras, the GoPro cameras. We did buy one of those that we do use. Matter of fact, that's what we had on the tripod with our light on in the Williamston Town Hall when the ghost kind of
That video
it
was
off.
fun.
That was amazing.
That was a great video. I'm really glad we got to investigate that. And the upcoming video that you guys are going to see here soon, which is the Belton Depot, that was also very, very
Well,
fun.
we did release part 1.
Part
we have
one.
to edit part 2. There might possibly be a part 3, depending on. I'm not sure how much more we
I
have to
still
go.
got to do this in the video, and it's bad.
You needed to be here last week when we did it. But okay, we're going to go now. We're talking about the EMF readers. I got several. I got that one. I got that one, and this one is kind of like a EMF reader, but it's also a thermometer, and
Let's not do that again.
I think that it takes temperature. So this one here, this one's real bright.
Yeah, it's brighter than
This
mine.
one here, it's kind of fluctuating now, although I'm pretty sure there's nothing really in here. But there's that one. This one here now, I'm going to plug Temu. This one here you can get for like $17 on Temu. And it works just as effective as this one, which I think I might have paid, I think 20 or 30 for on Amazon. And then this one was also from Temu. And this one here, it just has, this will light up. It's kind of almost like an EMF and a, for temperature and that. And you can adjust
like
on here. Yeah, you can adjust on here for temperature. It'll do readings and stuff like that. It shows on the monitor there. So there's different types there of the meters that you can use. You don't so you don't have to go through a lot of expense. This one here, I basically I think I did $17 for. It was cheap on Temu. And then this is the REM pod that Chase was talking about. So I mean, I already put the antenna on it. It works same as his actual name brand REM pod, but you just push the button. I can set the temperature gauge on that one too, and it's the same way it works. Yeah, you can put the sensitivity on that. You can set it with the little buttons on it. You can have sensitivity on there. It must be pretty good. And this one here we use a lot with the other one. For some reason, the spirits kind of like this one a little bit better. I think it's because the sound's a little bit easier on the ear or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be as intimidating. But when you put them both together and they both interact, wow, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. And then I have my spirit box, which is like Chase had. Now, the spirit box, what Chase didn't say is you can use it with the speaker and everything. You can get a good set of headphones. And you do the Estes method.
That's fun. That's
so
scary.
You can use it two ways. If you can have it without the headphones, and it'll make that white noise in the background, and it'll be searching the different channels and pulling out words to respond what you say. But if you do the Estes method, Chase, do you want to explain that? Because
yes.
I mean, I know what it is, but
so
give me a chance to talk.
I'm basically the one who does it the most.
Probably, yes.
I think it's fun, but it's also scary as hell. Basically, the theory is it's sensory deprivation. So you lose your sight, you rely on what you feel around you, and obviously you can't hear anything but the spirit box going through. Basically, you're supposed to have it so loud that it bursts your eardrums, and you're not supposed to hear the people asking questions. That's why whenever they ask questions, they normally talk a little lower to make sure that I or someone else don't actually hear the questions that are being said. And normally you'll see me go and put my headphones up to the camera so you guys hear the audio and make sure that it's going to pierce my ear. Basically what I'm listening for is words. Any word that comes out, no matter what it is, I will say it, even if it's not a direct response. But a good majority of the time, it correlates with what you guys are asking. And what we do is afterwards, after they're done asking the questions, I'll go through the footage and see that what I said correlated with the majority of their questions. You'll obviously have a lot of spirits who are very combative and don't like it, and will tell you to go fuck yourself a lot of times. And then you have some who really like communicating that way, and they will answer all your questions, and a lot of them are friendly. And yeah, it's a good way to go ahead and know who you're talking to and what you're talking to. And it's a good way to eliminate different things.
I think in the future what we're going to do is we're going to take our journal with us. And when a person goes under the Estes method, we're going to get the journal and the questions that we ask, we'll write down also when we're asking them. So that, because normally, like he said, when you're under, you almost go into a trance. It kind of sometimes gets a little scary because you just you almost feel like you're going to a different plane. You know, you're not there. You don't hear nothing other than what's coming through on that. And then as far as the headphones, you don't need to go expensive on headphones either, but you have to get noise canceling headphones. These here I simply got just from Walmart. I think I paid $30 maybe for them, but nice padding on them, noise reduce.
I use gaming headphones because they have the cupping.
The gaming headphones would probably be the best because they're specifically designed for like noise reduction. Yeah. But these here, like I said, I didn't pay a lot. They are noise reduction. They're going to work real well for me when I haven't used them yet. As you can see, they're still plastic. And then this here is a gauze meter. This here, anything goes by it, it'll pick up the electromagnetic field from. They use this a lot of times detecting radiation and stuff and that when they're going on expeditions and everything to see if there's anything that would cause any kind of interference and that in the land and that around. But if you saw our Williamston Town Hall one, this here, when you push the button, it makes that sound. Those aren't turned on. They shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that?
Could be the fan.
Well, yeah. Okay, that right. We just debunked that.
It just turned off. No.
Nope, it's still on. It's probably the fan. But anyhow, when we were in Williamston, we just started up our equipment, and I had this down, and there was this story of a little girl that was supposed to be laying around in the town hall. I just set this down, and I said, if there's anybody here, I said, little girl, if you're here, come by me. And this thing was going wacky. It just started going off like crazy. I don't know why it's doing that.
It might be my phone.
Oh, yeah, they're by our phones.
If your phones are anywhere near any of these EMF devices, you need to either turn them off or get them out of the room because it will mess with the readings that you get. That's why whenever we use it, we keep the camera so far away from it, is because of that reason.
Now, I didn't put batteries in this one, but this is a millimeter like the one that Chase showed. This is a more expensive version. This one's called a Mel REM, and it's a millimeter and a REM pod all in one. It does a little bit of everything. It'll shine up your lights on the top for like the EMF. It will do the temperature reading, all like a bunch of stuff. I forgot to put batteries in because we just moved recently, as you know. That's a lot of our stuff. We have not done an actual investigation yet. So we'll be getting the equipment, which when we do and we pull these out, we promise in our video, we'll do like we saw some of them. We'll put the little caption above there saying what we're using and what it does. But this one is a pretty cool
Mhm.
piece of equipment. Haven't used it lately. And then I have my little.
I love this one.
This one
Oh,
here
so
is
much.
a more expensive one. This one was only about $50, so it wasn't real expensive.
I love it.
But it is a great
works.
EVP recorder. This thing, I'll tell you what, I can charge it one time, and we could probably do 3-4 investigations before the battery gets dead on it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The battery.
Mine's still
now,
fully
unless there's a
charged, and I-
spirit. There was the one time I can't remember which location we went. It drained it almost immediately. Maybe it was up at Oakwood. It drained it real quick. But normally the battery on this thing
Oakwood.
lasts.
That's Hell's Gate, right?
Yeah, Housegate Oakwood Cemetery up in South Carolina. So I got that.
That was a good one.
And
That's when we got chased out.
that was creepy as hell.
We ignored every single warning because we didn't even think about what it was saying. But the spirit box, our phones, because we have an app, and we'll show you guys the app that we use. But it was just run, get out,
Yeah.
run.
That's
And we
what we was
ignored
talking
every
about in
single
our last
warning.
one.
Oh my!
And then a lot of people, you don't see these used very often. They're dowsing rods. This particular set here is made of copper. These you can get really cheap too. These I think I maybe paid $15 for this, if that. Nice set, copper. All you do is you hold it down here. They normally go straight like that. But if you ask a question, if there's a spirit here, if there's somebody here, can you please cross over the rods? And if this happens right now, I'm going to kind of like shit my pants because there shouldn't be anything in it. Well, if there was, never mind. But they'll like, I'm going to do it myself. Now, I didn't do that. I was going to do that.
I
So
saw that
basically,
move.
that's what it'll do. It'll cross over like that. As you can see, I'm holding it down here.
Ask it what it is.
And see, these things are loose like
Things are
this, so you really
accurate.
can't manipulate them. So I'm going to put this back. So as you can see, and like when we were in Gabriella's room, we'd say, what direction do you want us to go? And both of the rods would like go in whatever direction that there was something going to. So these can be very effective. A lot of investigators don't use them a lot. The one that I saw, I think, was Overnight Channel. A couple of the people that were him, I think there was a psychic or somebody that was on there. She used them. Yeah, they did too. They're effective. They're effective. They do work. Another thing that's good, I mean, I didn't pay an arm and a leg for it either, but it's good to have this. This is a flashlight. This is the charger that comes with it. It's a laser grid. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it on Chase.
That's fine.
As you can see, the laser.
You have to move this out of the way.
Well, you know what? Right back there. It'll show right on the wall. So as you can see, now this one has different grids. See, I can change the grid on it to whatever style I want. It has that millimeters. I mean the gauge meters.
Yeah.
That is weird because
It's not supposed to, no.
it's not the thing.
Nothing is going to set that off.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh.
But anyhow, so it's good to have. I mean, I didn't pay a lot for this. It's good when you're doing your investigations because if something walks behind it or in front of it, it's going to interfere with those dots. We don't use this a whole lot. If we're inside of a building, we like using it. We did try it up Oakwood Cemetery. We thought at one point that something might have went through, but it was kind of when Chase was there, so it was kind of hard to tell if anything was there. But it's always good if we can get one of the buildings like.
It works in hallways.
Oh yeah,
It works in
that's
hallways.
right. We had it in the hallway.
You'll see in the Belton Depot video that we did, it's not captured on camera because this is actually before we even started investigating. We were actually setting that up with a little camera, and the bathroom door to the women's restroom closed, and there was a stopper in it too, and it
Their motion detector light
shut.
went on in there too. Remember?
Yeah, the motion light because you walk in and the lights come on, And the light came on, and then the door shut, and there was still the stopper in the door, and it was.
And we didn't even start investigating yet, so we were there like, yeah, damn. You know,
we don't even have a camera set up. We're
saying.
setting up the one camera, and oh yeah.
And then this is another case. This is USA Gear. It's like what Chase's smaller one
USA
is.
Gear, yeah.
This one here, I just basically use for all the
Wires.
yeah, the wires
chargers,
and chargers and
batteries.
stuff like that. On this side here, I have more flashlights, and that EVP recorder that Chase has. This is what I was talking about. If you get it through Ghost Augustine, you can get that little EVP recorder and this, which is a flashlight. It's a LED flashlight, and inside,
It's a little screwdriver set. I forget how you do it though. I used to have one. It's on the bottom here. I got it. I think I remember how. Yep, right there. You got it.
and it's a little screwdriver set. So I guess, you know, if you're in a view, something breaks, you need to use equipment, and that little screwdriver set, and that comes in handy. But basically, you can get something like that through Ghost Augustine.
We got 3 mag lights. We got a black one,
Yeah.
a silver one, and a blue one.
So we have all that, like I said, and then our cameras that we have, which we have that one there. We have the little GoPro, and I said if you get something like that. So
We're gonna buy more little GoPros though. We're gonna deconstruct them and make them into infrared cameras. Eventually, I'm going to be getting about 2 more, and I'm gonna start doing that because you can get them.
now, if you
Very
want
decent
something
price.
that's like a spirit box or spirit talker, a lot of people don't believe in phone apps. But I'm telling you, we're big followers, big fans of both Project Fear and especially Twin Paranormal. And if you go on Google Play, you go on the app,
I don't really watch Twin Paranormal. I watch Project Fear more than
Project
Twin
Fear
Paranormal.
has been
I've only
amazing
seen, like,
since
2 of
they
their
went on
videos.
their own.
Used to be a fan of Overnight, but I don't watch.
But
them
if you
much
go
either.
on Google Play, I think it costs $10. Go on Spirit Talker. It looks like this, and the thing is you have to put your phone on airplane mode, and you go on this. This thing is accurate. It really does. When we went on a lot of investigations, we would ask specific questions, and this would answer to what we asked. Now, how this is set up basically like a spirit boxes. There's a database that is a data bank that is
It's like a dictionary.
and in the app itself of common words. And what happens is the spirits will go through whatever word is close to or to what they want to say. And normally it's just one word, but we've had full sentences like go to your left. It's under the basement. There's evil here.
Running 2 phones at once will get you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's creepy.
It's amazing how the app works. So, like, a lot of people
Like I
tell
said
you.
the name.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
are you
yeah.
okay on my device? Or maybe it was hers.
We
and
were
then
at
on the
Oakwood
other phone, it was
Cemetery.
like, over there.
Mhm,
Like, are
and
you okay over there?
you tripped or something, right? What happened?
No, because I was freaking out because it's never said my name before. I've never.
Oh, that's right.
I've
You
heard this
freaked.
thing say every other name in the book, but my name is so uncommon. Well, when name you don't really know that many Chases in the world. I know maybe
No,
3
Chase
or
came
4.
out. Yeah, Chase
And
came
I
out.
had never, ever, ever, ever until that day heard my name come out of that. And that's never even said that at all anymore. Like after that day, that was the only day I've ever heard my name come out of there. But I was freaking out. And on one of these phones, it goes, "Are you okay?" Then on the other phone, it went over there. So it formed a full sentence. It was creepy.
Like I said, a lot of people are like skeptical of the apps and
Very
that, but I'll tell you what, it's good now.
It
We've been
works.
watching Twin Paranormal, of course, like I said, and Project Fear. Now, on Twin Paranormal, they recently went from the Spirit Talker app to the Necrometer app. It's that's my clock in the background, so if you're hearing it, it's playing music. Anyhow, the Necrometer app, I think it's basically $10 also. It's more amazing than the Spirit Talker. I'm going to actually, when we go on our next investigation, I'm going to get that app and I'm going to use it. Ryan and River and Wyatt on Twin Paranormal, they've got responses on there like, they said twins. They said marked, like they're talking about tattoos. They actually literally one time said tattoo. They said
that to me too.
the color, yeah, they said that to Chase. Color of their hair, they said the color of Ryan's hair. They said Ryan several times. They come out and said River's name. They described River's light blue eyes. They actually said dimples one time, I believe. They're very, very accurate. So I'm going to get that app on our next adventure. So basically, I think that's an overall of the equipment. They said you don't need to go real expensive, a basic camera. You can use your phone. Get cat balls. To start off with, get a camera, a flashlight, cat balls, and a cheap EVP recorder.
Or an EMF meter. And then there you go. You don't really need a spirit box. You don't really need a millimeter. I mean, we don't really use the millimeter as much as we should.
We should use it more. Well, I think it depends on how haunted and how hot the places are. Like the last couple places we went, we really didn't hear like a lot of real, how can I say it, incredible. They didn't say that there was real intense activity. Now, like if we can secure something like the Evansburg jail or the Crescent prison or something like that, where they said
go to the Somerset County jail, the old Somerset
something
County
like
jail.
That, where they said that there's a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Pull out all of them. We'll have all of them out all around, and I mean, see what happens. But we got a lot of good equipment. Of course, we went to a little bit more expensive than most people, but we started off cheap. Again, when we started off, Chase used his phone for our camera. He used I had that cheap EVP recorder.
I actually edited the entire video on my phone.
So you don't need anything real expensive to start off. So hopefully that answers a lot of people's questions. And
I'll give that back. There it is.
So, you know, if you have any, please, we're begging, pleading. Don't hesitate to comment on our videos. Ask us questions. Say something that you dislike that we're doing. You know, we can take critical comments and that, but we just don't like bash, because there was a couple like against, like I said, big guy Chase, you know, and maybe I shouldn't have said that, you know.
Big guy Chase. No,
well, you know, and I'm not trying to be offensive to that, because we do ask for those comments, but that was a little bit, I think that was uncalled for.
I think it was funny.
We know, as doing investigations, sometimes we overspeak each other. Now, I even get it right now today, but it's just that you get into the moment. And that video in particular, that was the private investigation, there was just so much happening, and the homeowner himself was so overwhelmed that we were there and what was going on, that it just got that everybody just, it wasn't that we were trying to be disrespectful to each other or anything. It's just that that's how it ended up. Because like I said in the last video, we all have the utmost respect for each other, and we want to try to be as professional as we can, but we are relatively new yet. So as long as you guys be patient with us.
And I'm going to put the email into the description. I'll go and give you guys the email. But basically, if you guys are in the Pennsylvania area, mainly Somerset, Cambria, and Westmoreland County areas, or just in Pennsylvania in general, and you guys would like to see us go out and investigate somewhere that you guys know is haunted, or you guys own a piece of property that you guys would like us to go ahead and investigate, and you like our videos, you can always go ahead and email us, and I think we all have access to it, lurkingspiritsparanormal@gmail.com. It'll be in the description of the video as well, so all you gotta do is click on that and just send us a message. One of us will get back to you, and we'll set something up.
And remember, we are taking any kind of comments, questions. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Touch the notification bell, because we are so close right now to our first giveaway. We're giving away that little case that it's like a backpack tote bag.
And then as the channel grows, we'll give away more stuff like customized shirts, water bottles, maybe even some packages like three shirts, or a shirt, a bottle, and a bag at once. You know, we can do more and more and more as we hit more milestones. But other than that, I think
But
that's going to be it.
yep. So just ask us the questions, make comments, whatever. But until next time,
I ain't doing it.
stay spooky.